the effects and the crazy transitions and cool flashing effects. Never prioritize any of those things over the story and the content of your video. My name's Jake Hill, and today we're critiquing some of my old church videos. And this one today is from 2018. So let's go ahead and watch it, and then I'll get into roasting my 2018 self. All right, so with that out of the way, if you're anything like me, you're really probably pretty quick to criticize your old work. And although this is a critique, I do want to start with some good things because I think it's important to first look at things that weren't so bad, and then we'll get into some of the things that are bad, or more so just the things that I would do differently nowadays. So I think a lot of these shots, the composition, the camera work, even a lot of the exposure, camera settings, all the things like that, I think I did really well at this point, and that's what I felt most comfortable with, was the filming of the event and selecting the compositions and the types of angles and shots that I wanted. Even this first shot, like cool guitar shot, drums. This is a cool shot following the colored powder, or whatever you want to call it, up in the air. And a lot of these are good shots. I mean, this is cool. It's kind of underexposed on the people, and you have the lights in the background, so you kind of get some silhouettes. This dusk scene, when it's kind of blue hour at night. But I think the music choice was pretty good for this type of video. It's got a lot of energy. It allows you to like cut to a lot of the beats pretty easily. And then next, I thought the motion graphics were actually pretty good. So I'm pretty sure I animated these in After Effects, but you can see they kind of come on and then come off, which is cool. So I thought that was actually pretty good. I don't mind the motion graphics in here. And then lastly, in the good, the things that I do like is I think there are some cool effects in here. I think there's some that are obviously overused, and that'll lead us into the bad and what I really want you to take away from this critique and this video. But I thought there were some cool effects in here. And just to scrub through really quick, I mean, this is just the same shot but reversed, which can be a cool clip, and then it kind of continues on going forward, going normal speed. A lot of these you can see, I even have my Premiere project file, which is kind of wild. I just don't delete anything, which is my own problem. But I have the original file here, and you can see some of these speed ramps down here that I've created in Premiere is actually pretty cool. I kind of didn't mind this one, because you can see somebody's filming it. There's somebody with their hands raised, and it kind of slows down as the camera is like orbiting around. I thought that's a cool effect. This is a great shot. I like that one. This shot, again, like back to the shot choice, I thought this shot was really, really good. And the speed ramp worked really well for it, and even a speed up, and then a speed up into the next shot. And, you know, if I took away this shot right here, but this footage right here of everybody jumping, I thought was also really good. So there are some sparse effects in here that I thought were good and used intentionally, and actually the slow motion kind of helps you recognize and see what's going on, which is good. So overall, some of the bad parts about this video and the things that I would do differently if I was doing this again today. First off, there are just so many effects, and that's really the biggest thing I wanted to communicate through this video. So I'll just tell you right now, if you take nothing else away from this video, it would be to never prioritize the effects and the crazy transitions and cool flashing effects, whatever you want to call it. Never prioritize any of those things over the story and the content of your video. And when I look back on this video that I made, that's like probably the only thing I can remember. So I need to do better about remembering the good ones and remembering what I did well in this season. So if I just scrub through here, I mean, the amount of just useless effects that add nothing to the content of this video is pretty unreal, honestly. So look at this. I mean, I have 3 videos, 3 different frames happening right here to put to the point. I mean, these have blending modes on them. You can even see what's going on. And then after this, we see a quick shot of the drums, quick shot of people almost throwing powder up in the air. And then they throw it, and then it like glitches back down with 2 different blending modes on these 2 shots. And then we finally see the powder. This guy's running Literally these frames are just like flipped and cropped, kind of like mirrored. I don't know why I even did that. I feel like the shot would have been cooler without those. And continuing on, this is just flashing, and that's fine. Like I still will use like this flashing effect because it can increase the energy and the hype in certain moments of the video. This is kind of weird. I mean, there again, like I said shot choice, and I was happy with the shots that I got. This is kind of this like golden hour shot with the sun in the back behind them over here. But even then, I mean, there's just not a lot of content here. You're just seeing people stand around, and I just threw this shot in and made it kind of like glitch through these other couple clips and messed with the speed and the timing. But this whole part, I mean, this is 9 to 10. This is like a second and a half that adds pretty much nothing to the content of this video, which is unfortunate. And that's like valuable time that people are watching that you're not giving them anything. You're just flashing a bunch of stuff on screen. So this is really talking to myself in 2018, and it would overall just be to like prioritize more of the content. And I've got a few other notes I'll cover, but that's the biggest thing I wanted to hit on with this video. You can also see here, if you watch any of my more recent videos, I always like to use like audio of the speaker, someone sharing a good snippet, like a sermon clip essentially in the recap video, because that just adds a lot of content. It actually adds a story. And you can see here I have no other audio. This is literally just the music track, but that's all the audio. So it's literally just footage, some effects to music, which is unfortunate because in this recap video that was, I believe, posted on social media, you have an opportunity to actually give content and give like meat to people on social media. And instead of just creating a video that kind of looks cool, like I would much rather have a video that actually has a lot of content, a lot of depth to the message of it. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about the effects and that whole soapbox in a second, but also I wanted to mention at the beginning, I didn't love why I used recap. I think it would have been stronger title just to have neon night and maybe neon and night be on the second row down here. So these can just be super, super big up in the beginning of the video for the title. I don't think, I mean, if you're watching it, you figure it's a recap video because you're seeing the event. So I feel like that's not necessary. But if you're early on in your videography journey, and even if you've been making videos for a while, what I would love to communicate, just probably the biggest thing that I've learned in my videography journey, especially for churches, I think it's even more important there, is that I would kind of organize this kind of type of effects versus content that we've been talking about into 3 different layers. And so I would say the bottom would probably be like the worst, which is pretty much the prime example that we just watched right here, which is tons of effects and no real message. And it's just conveys that like there was so much effort put into making it look really cool, but not a lot of effort into actually conveying a message and giving people information and depth to the video that they're watching. And then right above that, we'll call it like the good category. And that would be having a lot of content and a lot of really good depth and message to your videos, but not a really high production value. This is why people say like content is king. The message behind your video is the most important thing. And I 100% agree with that and will reiterate it forever. But I still would say that is good, because the whole part of videography and learning to use a camera and learning to light and learning to use audio, all these things is so that your video can look and sound good. That's like seriously the point. So there is a whole nother element, we'll call it the great category, which is being able to convey a message, depth, and like real groundbreaking content. So we're taking a lot from the category of good, but we're also adding a lot of high production value. So I know that may seem complicated, but basically what I'm trying to say is like, it's really, really good if you can convey a lot of depth and message through your content, but it can be even on another level if you're able to combine that with high production value, your videography skills. But it's a lot easier to work with someone who already understands story structure and messaging and what they want to tell the world, and then stack some skills on top of that instead of the other way around. And that's a lot what I struggled with in the beginning, is I didn't really understand how to convey a message through video, but I had a lot of technical skills. And honestly, I would encourage you to do the opposite. I would encourage you to really dig in. If you're in a church setting, especially, like we have such a powerful message to share with people. So I would focus on dialing in the message and what you're trying to tell through your video. Even if it's a recap video, I think recap videos give you great opportunity to convey the event, what the event was actually about. And I would just say that if you start with content, you're already on a great track. And if you continue to stack skills, learn how to edit, learn how to light, learn how to record quality audio, you're only going to get way better. But if you continue building your really good base of content, you're never going to go out of style. So if you'd like to see a recent recap video that I made, I'll link it down in the description. It's how far I've come since this video. So 7 years ago, I made this, and then something recent you can check out down in the description. And if you happen to be a church videographer and you're looking to sharpen your skills or learn what this whole world is about and how to use audio, video, lighting to combine it into one final piece, I run a course called Better Church Video that you can join. There's a free plan. You can click the link down in the description and check that out. But other than that, hopefully you liked this critique of my old work, and I'll see you in the next one.